And welcome.
I'm Nezzie Wade, and the president of the board for Affordable Homeless Housing Alternatives. And I have a personal statement that I want to give to you, which is asking you to put this on your agenda as a matter of love and good faith for the homeless and for the rest of the residents in Humboldt. I'd like to talk a little bit about the shelter crisis and where we've come from. We started talking about doing a shelter crisis at the end of 2013. It was pretty foreign back then and not very familiar. But recently, legislation has occurred in California where the state has been involved in actually facilitating the development of shelter crisis declarations for many cities. And I don't know if any of you saw this article that came out yesterday. It was AP this morning. It says, official counts taken earlier this year in California, Oregon, Washington show 168,000 homeless people in 3 states, according to an AP tally of every jurisdiction in those states that reports homeless numbers to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. And we know that there's a lot of people who are not identified in those numbers. But since 2015, at least 10 cities or municipalities, municipal regions, that is counties, in California, Oregon, and Washington, and Honolulu have declared states of emergency due to the rise of homelessness. And so with legislation that has come out this year to assist San Jose and to facilitate the declaration of shelter crisis and to be able to create what the legislation calls bridging communities or emergency shelter cabins, these are the things that we've been talking to you about all along. So those are things that have been now widely understood. It makes us, having been aware of this for a long time, not deviant any longer. We, like anything else, something that's deviant, if done enough, becomes the norm. We brought Andrew Heben here, who was the originator of the tiny house village concept. He's been here a few times. We visited other places. We've been in contact with this movement across the country where this is happening because it is an affordable, quick alternative to getting people into safe spaces and getting on with their lives. It contributes to community. It's good for everyone. And a shelter crisis, I know there seems to be a lot of resistance. It's kind of a scary thing because maybe it'll be chaotic. It isn't. It works. And so I guess what I would say in the end is we need to move beyond services. There are a lot of people out there for whom there are no services. We have thousands of students. We have people that are out in the bush, and we need to focus on those for whom the services don't apply. And there are very many of them. So we need to open our hearts and new spaces for them, and the Shelter Crisis Declaration is a really important way and an appropriate way to do that. And we can't leave them out there.
All right. Thank you very much, Nezzie. And as Jim is making his